Hello everybody, welcome to DMG Gaming, your soon-to-be #1 spot for gaming news, how-tos, and discussions. I'm your host, LucyD, and this is our channel's first video. Now, before we get into the thick of it, we here at DMG Gaming want to thank you for stopping by and being our first viewers. So as a thank you, we have something special for you saved to the end of the video where you can win some pretty cool merchandise and get some credit in our future videos. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see what we have in store for you guys who made it here first. And now, back to the topic at hand. What makes a good game? Is it a great multiplayer? Thanks to the first successful introduction of online multiplayer brought forth by Xbox Live Service in 2002, console gamers were finally able to prove their might against other gamers from around the world at their favorite video games by going head-to-head from the comfort of their own homes. Of course, there had already been online multiplayer functionality for PC gamers for quite some time, but thanks to the consoles bringing online gaming to the mainstream, it has only become a higher and higher expectation for modern games to have a multiplayer element to help elongate a game's life and relevance. Just look at all the Halos, Call of Duties, Gears of Wars, and Counterstrike iterations. All these games would not be where they were it not for their multiplayer. But it's this thinking that brought us proof for a counter-argument. You see, it was this exact mentality that brought forth things like Bioshock 2's multiplayer. Some games just don't need a multiplayer to be successful, and as is for the case for Bioshock 2, can sometimes suffer for it. Another counter to this argument is the fact that some games just seem to be seen as less valuable if they only have a multiplayer mode. Just look at Titanfall and EA's Battlefront. Both games were criticized when announced for not having a single-player story mode. Many argued that it was absurd to charge the full price of $60 for a game that lacked a single-player element. So if it's not reasonable to sell a game without a single-player mode, then surely having a single-player story mode must be the key to making a great game, right? Think of the masterpieces that are Bioshock, any of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series, the Fable franchise, Legend of Zelda, Doom 2016, and even Metal Gear Solid. All great games praised for their single-player experience. All but one of these games didn't even have a multiplayer mode, so surely making a great game means a good single player, right? Of course not. There are a number of high-profile games that have had major success without a single-player aspect, such as Team Fortress 2, Counterstrike, Overwatch, and basically every major MMO and MOBA, like World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Dota 2, and even Elder Scrolls Online. And yes, we consider Elder Scrolls Online a great game, too bad. In contrast, there are countless games that failed miserably, no matter whether they had a single-player aspect or not, such as Knack, Killzone 4, The Order 1886, Duke Nukem Forever, and pretty much every Sonic game since Sonic Adventures. Oh yeah, we just went there. But for the sake of argument, let's use The Order 1886 for our example. The game, which was one of the flagship exclusives promised for the PS4, turned out to be a major flop, with roughly only 3-hour game length, of which half was unskippable cutscenes, and arguably terrible gameplay. But herein lies the key to our next argument, which possibly might be the most valid of the three so far: gameplay. Think of basically any game ever, from shooters to MMOs, indie games, and mobile games. The thing that makes a great video game must be gameplay, right? Well, sure, this is the best argument since the whole point of playing games is to have fun actually playing it. But with games like Papers, Please, or simple text-based games, or QuickTime event games such as Heavy Rain, we wouldn't really consider that the greatest of gameplay per se, but each had its relevance for its own specific reason. This brings us to what I feel is the core of a great game. There is none. Now, I know you may be rolling your eyes or thinking I'm just trying to be sensational, but give me a moment to explain. I will admit, there technically is something that makes a great game, but the reason I say there is no single answer is because I believe a great game is one that sets a goal. And that goal is either a great story with interactive components to feel involved, or simply great gameplay. But once a publisher or game company has an idea in mind, then they have to think, does this concept or gimmick have a market that would want to play this? People like different things, so there won't be a single concept to bring in everyone. You need to make sure that you think about whether there's a market of gamers who will want to play this game. And finally, you need to put everything into motion and actually capture this concept in a way that expresses the game's core draw by justifying it and making it stand out in its own way. Otherwise, you just made a game that falls flat or becomes just another game of what could have been. The creators need to make sure that the hype they want is justified and deserved. So essentially, what is the game trying to accomplish? Is that going to be entertaining for gamers? And do the game's developers succeed at bringing this idea in a captivating way? If the answer is yes to those last two questions, then you have a great game. And there you have it, everybody. I want to thank y'all again for watching here at DMG Gaming. As promised earlier, we have something special for everyone here. We're offering everyone here a chance to be given producer credit for the first 10 entered, and a special thanks to everyone else at the end of our next video. All you have to do is subscribe, give our video a like, and comment below either what you think makes a great game, or what else you might like to see our channel talk about. This will also submit you into winning a free t-shirt. Winners will be selected at the end of the month. Leave a comment in each video to increase your chances, and tune in next month to see if you win. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.